So welcome back to my channel. My name is Swamp Rose, Kiki Peru / Dune Bunny / Capri / Callaway. Today I wanted to bring you a story regarding the IDAHO4 case and continuing my podcast where I cover the IDAHO4 case or the case against Brian Koberger. Today I want to talk about Murphy the dog. So Murphy was one of the victims' dogs. Murphy was a golden doodle and he was just a puppy under a year. Now, the mysterious thing about Murphy is that in a house where there were 4 victims of a brutal attack, Murphy came out not only unscathed, but with no evidence on him. And we know that because we saw a video of Murphy out front of the house with survivors or people who had came over during or before the 911 call. We saw him tucked under a blanket at the dumpster. So that just indicates to us there wasn't any forensics on him. He wasn't processed as part of the crime scene. There are several other mysterious things, but recently one of the victim's parents did an exclusive interview here on YouTube. And he mentioned something about Murphy that made me think maybe I'm thinking about Murphy a little bit wrong. So a couple things about Murphy. His presence tells us, his presence makes things confusing. He had no evidence on him. He was away from everything, but free to roam the house, barking loud enough to be heard outside. I'm just reading from my notes, you guys. The morning after, he was seen outside the crime under a blanket, where was he other than the house? And then when the police came back in, they said they saw Murphy. It's unclear whether he was where he was, whether he was contained, whether there was a door open, and how he was away from the victims the entire time. So let's listen to this voicemail, and then we'll get into what Steve said, and I'll play you a, oops. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. Oh no, right as here we go.
I'm calling to complain for Kiki Peru. I saw the AR case, so just a singular thought on that Idaho situation. The dog Murphy, the timeline. If somebody can figure out where Murphy was from 2 a.m. to noon the next day when Murphy shows back up. I know there's times we hear him barking, 3 o'clock, the neighbor guy who's partying on the deck, hears him, and we see him in some videos, but who the heck had Murphy that night? Kind of like a shared dog between Jack and her, baby Jack, like a child, wanted to make sure his child was okay. I don't know. But if we can figure out who had Murphy, then they have to know Kaylee was not available. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. So when I heard that voicemail, it brought up one specific thing for me. In the authentication records that we recently saw came out, one of the cameras that they authenticated was a balcony cam. So it was somebody who allegedly caught suspect vehicle 1 on camera. If Murphy was outside barking, doesn't that mean they likely caught Murphy barking on that camera as well? And if they were catching suspect vehicle 1 from a balcony facing the King Road house, in between that camera and suspect vehicle 1 on the road would have been the grounds where Murphy was. Was Murphy on camera? What I'm getting at was the sliding glass door definitely open? When we hear about that sound test that the police did, that it's a common thing, they wanted to see what noises could have been picked up and whatnot. I wonder if they assumed the sliding glass door was open. And now we heard they're not using any audio, so I don't even know if that camera footage at 417 is even relevant at this point. But when we talk about alternative suspects and things like where we should look for multiple perps or multiple weapons or alternative suspects, I feel like these are the things that come into play. Where was Murphy all night? Was he in the house? Now, in the most recent interview, Steve Gonzalez posed a theory which kind of sparked something I hadn't thought of before, where he was saying, okay, scenario where, okay, so in the PCA, it states that Dylan says she heard somebody say something to the effect of there's someone here, and she thought it was Kaylee, but the police contradicted her and they said, no, we believe that's Xana due to a forensic download on Xana's phone. Well, if it was Xana and that's the police contradicting Kaylee versus Xana, let's just say it was Xana for a second. Another thing the police contradicted about Kaylee was DM claims she saw the victim coming up and down the stairs. Well, the police said that couldn't be true because the victim was deceased. Well, what if not only did she make a mistake about Xana and Kaylee's voice, what if she made a mistake about Xana and Kaylee running up and downstairs? What if it's like what the murder victim's father was saying, and Xana was in the kitchen, saw the door was open, and was like, oh, there's someone here. And then what if Xana did run upstairs and that was who was going up the stairs? And like he said, ran back down with Murphy. Murphy goes out the door. Xana goes towards her room. It's plausible. It doesn't change any of the details, but what it does bring into the forefront is that one of the victim's own fathers is saying now, doesn't look like Murphy was in the house. I mean, that's what I thought I heard or surmised from that. And I don't know. And if Murphy was in the house, where did he go? And who put him back in? There were those early rumors that someone knocked on the door and handed Murphy back to one of the survivors. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just throwing it out there. One other thing I want to bring up, hold on. Oh, and the other thing is, I mean, we talk about how dark it was and she was unable to see the perpetrator. Well, that makes it very plausible that the person running up and down the stairs, she was unable to like really make out either. This case is really complex and it has many, many layers. I want to show you a video. So the reason why I kind of think it's a big deal is because if Ann Taylor is telling us that her client is innocent, by nature, she is going with an alternative suspect theory. I'm trying to get to the video, you guys. And if she's going with an alternative suspect theory, I have to switch accounts to get the video. Sorry, you guys. If she's going with an alternative suspect theory, then if she's saying her client is innocent, then essentially she's going with an alternative suspect theory. So we have to pay attention to like who the alternative suspects could be. I cannot freaking find my video, you guys. This is not good. I have so many channels. That's the problem. I think I must have uploaded it to Damascus Rose. Let me see. I did. Okay, perfect. Okay. Here we go. So this was a recent video released by TikTok and by someone on TikTok. And it shows all the victims in front of the dumpster along with Murphy. What's interesting is if we're going with alternative suspect, there does seem to be a problem there because the dumpster was then later, the dumpster they were sitting in front of was later emptied. And I do believe, not that I believe, I can tell the police thought that was a mistake because they followed the dump truck all the way to the transfer station. And then you can see them in hazmat suits sorting through it for evidence. So I don't know, let's just take a look. And you can form your own opinions and make your own decisions about what you're watching.
She shared how it was hard to watch from afar, and the university had sent out an email to the students to see, which she told me, someone in a pink hoodie. She says that it's Hunter Chapin.
All right. So that's basically the info as I have to give you. So the questions I'll leave you with that I'd love for you to comment in the chat and below. So I want to hear your organic thoughts first and foremost. But where was Murphy? Did the authenticated camera from the balcony get Murphy on cam in between filming suspect vehicle 1 in the balcony? Why did Murphy have no evidence on him? Where was Murphy that morning? Why are they not using the audio anymore that caught Murphy barking at 4:17, along with Murphy barking right around 4 a.m.? Why aren't they using that authenticated record? Not that it has anything to do with Murphy, but I'd just like to know because Murphy's referenced in that. And I should give credit for that footage. Mikey retrieved that from the Daily Mail early, and I'm glad I've had that footage for about a year. It's really helpful when we talk about questions early on in the investigation. And I just appreciate you sticking around and listening to what I have to say. And we have new people in the chat. Hey, Minnie. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Ro. Hey, Lily. Rose. Tonka again. Christy. It's so nice to see you guys showing up for these stories. They're really important to me. Like I said, I stayed up till like 2 a.m. writing these stories last night. And the last one, holy shit, you guys. I don't even know if I have the energy to deliver it. But we do have one more, and it's about the FBI. Lord have mercy on my channel. Yeah, so hit that notification bell because we got another live stream coming up. And what I'd really like to know is if you think these are good, I'd love to know which ones maybe I should make public on Swamp Rose. So, because I am pre-filming these over on Swamp Rose. So let me know that too. Anyway, I hope you're having a great Sunday. I'll see you in a few minutes.